Sir Moises, you can stop the recording because I'm not teaching now. Somebody else will. I'm just uploading the material. Doc Ramak, mukhang na-share niyo lahat ang screen. Yeah. Pati yung background niyo na-share lahat. Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, pwedeng ganyan. Yung i-share niyo lang yung ano na, yung full screen na ano na, yan, ganyan. Okay po. God bless. Pahinga muna ako.
How are you, dear scholars? Good afternoon. We want to make use our time. Sayang. Okay. Are you ready? Thank you for attending the class this afternoon, and congratulations because despite of power interaction, typhoon, storm that hinder us for joining today, we are here to attend this class. Before we begin, let us commit our class, our studies through prayer. Who wants to pray? Who wants to volunteer? Sir Josue?
Hey, let's pray. Father God in heaven, maraming salamat po Ama sa mga oras na ito na kami po, Panginoon, ay makakapagpatuloy sa pag-aaral, Panginoon, kung paano maging effective na chaplaincy sa aming mga sarili at ganun din po sa mga tao. Dalangin po namin na pagkalubang kami ng katalinuhan upang ito po ay maisabuhay. Ito po ay aming pinapanalangin sa pangalan ni Jesus. Amen.
And thank you so much for that prayer. Today we will discuss the democracy. Democracy as a framework for citizens' participation. What is democracy? Democracy derived from Greek word demos, which means people, and kratos, rule. Democracy means rule by the people. It comes from citizens, not a single ruler. The Bible does not explicitly mention democracy as a political system, but it contains many principles that align with democratic ideas such as justice, equality, collective decision-making, leadership, accountability, and a rule of law. Some Bible verses related to democracy are the following. In Judges 21, verse 25, it says, "In those days there was no king in Israel. Every man did that which was right in his own eyes." This verse shows a time of disorder without centralized leadership, highlighting the need for righteous governance. While in 1 Peter 2, verse 13 to 17, it encourages submission to the governing authorities as those appointed for justice and order, implying respect for structured governance under God. In addition, Micah 6 verse 8 emphasizes acting justly, loving mercy, and walking humbly with God, reflecting foundational values for a just society. While in Proverbs 29 verse 2 points out that when righteous leader govern, people rejoice. When wicked leaders rule, people suffer, underscoring the importance of moral leadership. In the Philippines, who governs, the righteous leader or the wicked leader? Just answer it in yourself. Acts 6, verse 3 to 5 shows early church communal decision-making through selecting leaders for a specific responsibility, a form of collective governance. There are 5 core principles of democracy. Number 1 is the popular sovereignty. Power belongs to the people. Popular sovereignty is the principle that the ultimate source of political power rests in the hands of the people. This means that government exists and operates only with the consent of the governed. In other words, citizens have the right to choose their leaders, make decisions through elections, and influence how they are governed. It emphasizes that authority comes from the collective will of the people, not from kings, dictators, or elites. When people participate in decision making, such as voting or engaging in civic activities, they are exercising their sovereignty and ensuring that the government remains accountable to them. How about the rule of law? It says everyone is subject to the law. When everyone is subject to the law, it means that no one is above the law. Not the government, not the leaders, and not the citizens. Everyone, regardless of their position, wealth, or power, must obey the same law. This principle ensures fairness, justice, and order in society. It prevents abuse of power by making sure that the government officials and ordinary citizens alike are held accountable for their action. The rule of law protects people's right, maintaining peace and build trust in the justice system by ensuring that the laws are applied equally and consistently to all. Do you think the rule of law exists in our governance in the Philippines, in your municipality, in your barangays? How about political equality? It says one person, one vote. Political equality means that every citizen has the right to participate in government and political processes. The idea of one person, one vote ensures that everyone's vote carries the same weight regardless of their social status, wealth, gender, or background. This principle guarantees fairness in elections and decision making, allowing all citizens to have an equal voice in choosing their leaders and shaping public policies. Political equality strengthens democracy by ensuring that no individual or group has more influence or power than others in determining the direction of the government. Last May 13, we exercise uh, political equality. Do you think so? And number 4, accountability and transparency. Leaders must answer to citizens. Accountability and transparency mean that the government officials and leaders are responsible for their actions and decisions, and they must be open about how they use their power and public resources. Accountability ensures that leaders answer to the people if they misuse their authority or fail to serve the public interest. They can be questioned, investigated, or removed from office. Transparency means that government activities, decisions, and spending are more visible and understandable to the public. Together, this principle build trust between the government and citizens, prevent corruption, and ensure that leaders truly serve the people's need. Do you have leaders in your town or municipality which are transparent, exercising transparency and accountability and transparent in their activities? I hope you are enjoying the government which is transparent. How about protection of rights? It says freedom of speech, press, and assembly. Protections of rights means that every individual is guaranteed certain basic freedom that the government must respect and uphold. These include the freedom of speech, which allow people to express their opinions and ideas, freedom of press, which ensures that media can report the truth without censorship, and freedom of assembly, which gives citizens the right to gather peacefully to voice their concerns or advocate for change. These rights are essential in a democracy because they allow people to participate actively, share ideas openly, and hold their leaders accountable with fear of punishment. Citizen participation, the heart of democracy. Number one is voting in election. Voting in election is one of the most important ways citizens participate in a democracy. Kaya wag ibebenta ang boto. It allows people to choose their leaders and influence government decision. Through voting, citizens express their opinions about how the country should be governed and who should represent them. It is both a right and responsibility. A way to ensure that the government reflects the will of the people. By voting, individuals help keep leaders accountable and make democracy strong, fair, and representative to everyone's voice. Number two, joining community organization or projects. Joining community organizations or projects is a way for citizens to take an active role in improving their community and addressing local needs. It shows participation beyond voting by working together. People can solve problems, promote shared goals, and strengthen social bonds, whether it's helping in cleanup drive, youth programs, church groups, or local development projects. Participation in community activities helps build cooperation, responsibility, and civic pride. This involvement reflects the spirit of democracy, where citizens work together for the common good and make positive contribution to society. How about attending public consultation? Through public consultation, it allows citizens to directly participate in government decision making. In these meetings, people can share their opinions, concerns, and suggestions about proposed laws, projects, or policies that affect their community. This process ensures that the government actions reflect the real needs and voices of the people. By attending and speaking up, citizens help promote transparency, accountability, and inclusive governance, making sure that decision making are made not just not, not just by leaders but with the active involvement of the public. Before before ordinance is to be imposed, there are public hearings that should be made. Isn't it? Do you participate in public hearings in your barangays or in your municipality? Oh, No response. You are not attending public hearings.
Sorry,
Number
ma'am,
4.
are
Wow.
we supposed hello?
Yes, in the
Sorry, ma'am.
government, before any ordinance is to be implemented, it should pass through public hearings and should be attended by the people, the residents of barangay or municipality.
Sometimes, ma'am, I attend. But if it's scheduled in Saturday, I'm not attending po.
Okay. Number 4, engaging in peaceful protest. It means that a democratic way for citizens to express their opinions, stand up for their rights, and call for change. It allows people to voice their concerns publicly about issues such as injustice, corruption, or unfair policies without using violence or force. Peaceful protest shows the power of collective action and remind leaders that authority comes from the people. This form of participation strengthens democracy by promoting freedom of expression and encouraging government to listen and respond to the will of the citizens. There in Metro Manila, there are several rallies to voice out their needs, to voice out their opinions. And fifth is using social media for advocacy. It means that using online platform like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok to promote causes, share information, and raise awareness about social or political issues. It allows citizens to reach a wide audience, express their opinions, and encourage others to take action. Through social media, people can hold leaders accountable, support community initiatives, and push for positive change. This form of digital participation strengthens democracy by giving everyone a voice, especially those who may not have access to traditional platforms of power or influence. There are three forms of participation in democracy. First is the direct voting, referendum. Direct voting or referendum calls for immediate decision making. Direct participation refers to a form of democracy where citizens are directly involved in making this important decision rather than relying on elective representative to decide for them. Example is voting in national or local election and participating in a referendum where people vote yes or no on a specific issue or law. This allows citizens to have an immediate impact on government decisions, ensuring that their voices are heard clearly and directly in shaping public policies and laws. How about indirect participation? These are electing representative and it is long-term policy impact. here in Aurora, we have Alone district. So we have only one representative. But in Isabela, we are in 4th district of Isabela. We have 3 representatives in the lower house. Indirect participation means that citizens take part in democracy by electing representatives who make decisions and create laws on their behalf. Instead of deciding every issue directly, people choose leaders they trust to speak and act for them in government. This type of participation has a long-term policy impact since elected officials shape laws, budgets, and programs that affect society over time. Indirect participation allows for for organized and efficient governance while still ensuring that power ultimately comes from the people through regular and fair election. And the last form of participation is civic engagement. Civic engagement means joining NGOs or local projects. Through civic engagement, people actively participating in efforts that improve the community and society. This include joining the non-government organization, volunteer groups, or local projects that address social, environmental, or economic issues. Through these activities, citizens work together to solve problems, promote the common good, and strengthen community relationships. Civic engagement builds trust between people and their government, encourages cooperation, and help create a more responsible and united society where everyone contributes to positive change. What are the benefits of democracy for citizens' participation? Through citizens' participation, it promotes accountability. It means that ensuring government officials, institutions, and even citizens are responsible for their actions and decisions. When people actively monitor government activities, they will be able to ask questions and demand transparency. Leaders are more likely to act honestly and fulfill their duties properly. Accountability prevents corruption, misuse of power, and negligence. It reminds leaders that their authority comes from the people and that they must serve the public interest. In a democracy, promoting accountability helps maintain trust, fairness, and integrity in governance. Citizens' participation also encourages good governance. Good it means promoting a style of leadership that is honest, transparent, fair, and responsive to the needs of the people. When citizens participate actively by voting, joining consultation, or monitoring government action, they help ensure that leaders make wise and ethical decisions. Good governance is marked by accountability, respect for the rule of law, and efficient use of public resources. By encouraging good governance, citizens help build a government that truly serves the people and works for the common good. Citizens' participation also strengthens community ties. Because it builds unity, trust, and cooperation among people within a community. When citizens work together through local projects, volunteer activities, or shared goals, they develop a stronger relationship and a sense of belonging. This spirit of collaboration helps communities face challenges more effectively and support one another in times of need. In a democratic society, strong community ties promote mutual respect, understanding, and active participation, creating a more peaceful, caring, and resilient community. And fourth, citizen participation protects rights and freedom. It ensures that every person enjoys basic liberties such as freedom of speech, religion, and assembly, as well as the right to equality and justice. In a democracy, the government has the duty to uphold these rights, while while citizens have the responsibility to defend and exercise them. When people are aware of and stand up for their rights, they help prevent abuse of power and discrimination. Protecting rights and freedom guarantees that everyone can live with dignity, express themselves freely, and participate fully in society. And last, it builds trust in institutions. Building trust in institution means helping people have confidence in government agencies, the justice system, schools, and other public organizations. When these institutions act with honesty, fairness, and transparency, citizens are more likely to believe that they are serving the public good. Active participation, such as voting, attending consultation, or monitoring government action, also strengthens distrust, as people see that their voices matter and their concerns are heard. Trust in institution is essential for a stable and effective democracy because it encourages cooperation, respect for laws, and unity within the society. But if citizens' participation had benefits, it also had challenges. And these are the challenges. Voter apathy. Voter apathy means a lack of interest or concern among citizens about voting or participating in election. When people feel that their does not matter or that politician will not bring real change, they may choose not to vote at all. This weakens democracy because fewer people take part in choosing their leaders and influencing government decision. Voter apathy can result from distrust in government, lack of political education, or feelings of disconnection from national issues. Overcoming voter apathy requires encouraging civic awareness, transparency, and showing people that active participation truly makes a difference. Last national and local election, uh, I did not exercise my my power to choose leader, because for it is my personal, I have a personal issue, so I did not exercise my only one. Kaisa-isa na nga lang eh, hindi pa in-exercise. Yes. Number 2, lack of political education. It means that citizens do not have enough knowledge or understanding about how government works, their rights and responsibilities, or how to participate effectively in political processes. Without proper political education, people may be easily misled, become indifferent to national issues, or fail to hold leaders accountable. This weakens democracy because informed citizens are essential for good decision making and responsible governance. Promoting political education help people become active, critical, and responsible participants who can contribute to a just and transparent society. Another challenge is corruption and vote buying. Are you familiar with this? Vote buying? Or it is not exist in your locality? Mag-react naman kayo. Totoo ba?
Totoo yan, ma'am. That's true.
No corruption and vote buying during election?
Corruption and vote buying.
What? Go ahead.
Malaking corruption po sa vote buying.
Sinong nakatanggap ng 500? 1,000?
Ako, 5,000.
Okay. True? Ang taas naman. Or joke? Yes.
Ma'am, very legal po yung vote buying. Kunwari kukunin kang anong tawag nila dito? Kukunin ka nilang watcher or what? Ano yung ibang term po doon? I forgot
Monitoring.
na po.
Monitoring?
Monitoring. Yeah. Then they will
Monitoring
give
or
you
monitoring?
monitoring. Then they will give you money.
Yes.
Sureable na po yun. Sureable na voter. Ano ka na? Botante ka na nila.
Sa amin dito, ma'am, 6,000, 8,000.
Saan yan? Lilipat na ako dyan.
Dito sa Carmen, Cagayan.
Oh, God. Sa dami ng pinapamudmud nila, wala man lang akong nakuha kahit t-shirt.
Lipat kayo dito sa Cagayan, Carmen. Dami.
Hindi ka daw. Ma'am, hindi ka daw po bumoboto.
Ngayon lang ako di bumoto kasi parehas na ayokong iboto yung magkatunggali. So, it's better hindi ako bumoto para hindi sila magalit sa akin. So, walang magagalit kasi hindi ako bumoto. Choice ko yun. Kasi parehas naman eh. Bumoto man ako sa hindi nila paniniwala, ang ibinoto ko sila at So, hindi ako bumoto. Tingnan nila dun sa COMELEC, hindi ako bumoto. So, wala. Kaya awan ipabasol na kanya. Sino nakaintindi nun? Okay. So, corruption and vote buying. These are serious threats to democracy and fair governance. Of course, corruption happens when public officials misuse their power for personal gain, such as stealing public funds or giving favors in exchange for money or influence. How about vote buying? Vote buying occurs when candidates or their supporters offers money. True? They offer money, goods.
Throw a cup.
How about favors in order to voters in exchange for their votes?
Sa amin man, a cup.
What are the favors? Libre na lahat. Isn't it? Name your price. These practices destroys fairness in election, weaken public trust, and allow unqualified or dishonest leaders to gain power. Yes, if you are honest, if you don't have money, but you are capable and supposed to be honest leader, you have no chance or room to to public office. Fighting corruption and vote buying requires honesty, political awareness, and active citizen. Most leaders are not chosen based on integrity and confidence, but they are chosen because of the bribe they give, diba? How about social inequality and discrimination? Number 4. When certain groups of people are treated unfairly or denied equal access to opportunities, rights, and resources because of their gender, race, religion, social class, or other differences, it is called social inequality and discrimination. These injustices weaken democracy because they prevent everyone from participating equally in society and government. When people are excluded or marginalized, their voices are not heard in decision making. Do you think it is also present in our church? When you are marginalized, your voice are not heard in decision making, or it is only in the government? Wala bang ganito sa church?
Meron po.
Wala kayo! Sino yung sabing meron? Totoo ba? Kakalungkot po ano? Promoting equality and fighting discrimination help build a fair and inclusive society where everyone is respected, valued, and given the same chance to contribute to the nation's progress. And fifth challenge to participation is limited access to information. This means that citizens do not have enough reliable or transparent sources of news and data about government action. How about in our church? Do we have do informations are not limited to us? All information are readily available? May GC ba tayo na? Ano ba yung mga GC natin sa church? May GC ba kayo sa church? Do you have GCs in your church?
Mayroon,
That
ma'am.
everyone are updated to the programs of the church, or only few?
Meron.
So all members have access to all information.
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. So limited access to information is only exercises in the government, not in our church. So let's
Yes.
go to in strengthening certain citizens participation. How to strengthen citizen participation? Strengthening citizen participation promotes civic education in school. It means teaching students about their rights, responsibilities, and roles as active members of society. Through civic education, young people learn how government works, why participation in election and community activities matters, and how to make informed, ethical decisions. It helps develop critical thinking, patriotism, and respect for democratic values. By starting civic education early, school prepare future citizens to be responsible, engaged, and aware of how they can contribute to good governance and national development. And number two, it encourages volunteerism and advocacy. Encouraging volunteerism and advocacy means motivating citizens to take part in activities that help others and improve society. Volunteerism involves offering time, skills, or effort to support community projects and people in need, while advocacy means speaking up for causes such as human rights, environmental protection, or social justice. This action builds compassion, unity, and civic responsibility. When people volunteer and advocate for positive change, they strengthen democracy by showing care for others, promoting shared values, and working together toward the common good. And and third is support free media and open government. Through this, it ensures that journalists and citizens have freedom to access and share truthful information without fear or censorship. A free media serves as the watchdog of democracy by exposing corruptions, reporting on government action, and keeping the public informed. But today, even the media men are killed in exposing corruption. An open government promotes transparency by allowing people to see how decisions are made and how public funds are used. Together, they build trust, prevent abuse of power, and empower citizens to hold leaders accountable, helping democracy remain honest, responsive, and strong. And the last is use technology for civic engagement. By using technology for civic engagement, it is advantageous of the digital tools and online platforms to participate in democratic activities and promote social change. Example of this includes signing online petition, joining virtual campaigns, attending web-based public consultations, or sharing information about community issues on social media. Technology makes it easier for citizens to express opinions, organize collective action, and connect with others who share similar goals. When used responsibly, digital participation increases awareness, strengthens accountability, and gives more people a voice in shaping government policies and community initiative. Do we have time? Sir Rolly, we can use 3 to 4.
3 minutes po.
Ma'am, I have a
Yes po.
question.
Yes po. Yes po. Yes, you can use.
We can still go and
Yes po.
use some time of
Yes.
no other professor.
This time there's no professor this time. You can use it. I'll be using about 3,
Uh,
4
just
to
30
5.
minutes. 30
Okay po.
minutes.
Okay po.
Block. Okay. This is the case example, the Philippine People Power Revolution in 1986. Citizens united to restore democracy. The EDSA People Power Revolution of 1986 was a historic event in the Philippines where millions of citizens united to peacefully restore democracy after years of dictatorship and under President Ferdinand Marcos. People from all walks of life, most are students, workers, priests, nuns, and ordinary citizens gathered along EDSA to protest against corruption, abuse of power, and electoral fraud. Through unity, courage, and nonviolent action, they successfully ended the dictatorship and helped bring back democratic governance. The EDSA revolution stands as a powerful example of how collective citizens' action can protect freedom, uphold justice, and restore democracy. It is clear example of collective action leading to political change. Millions of Filipinos joined together in peaceful protest to oppose the dictatorship of Ferdinand Marcos and demand restoration of democracy. Citizens from different backgrounds, religious leaders, soldiers, professionals, as I have said, even students and ordinary people stood side by side at EDSA, united a common goal of ending oppression and corruption. This collective effort forced the dictator to step down and led to the inauguration of Corazon Aquino as president. This event showed that when people reunite peacefully for a just cause, they have the power to bring about meaningful political change. For conclusion, first, democracy depends on people. Because it is a system of government that draws its power and authority from the citizen. The people choose their leader, shape laws and policies through participation, and hold officials accountable for their action. Without the active involvement of citizens through voting, dialogue, community service, and standing up for what is right, democracy cannot function effectively. It thrives when people are informed, responsible, and united in promoting justice, equality, and the common good. In essence, the strength and success of a democracy come from the active participation and collective will of the people. And number 2, conclusion, participation is both a right and a responsibility. Because in a democracy, every citizen has the right to take part in decision making through voting, expressing opinions, or joining civic activities. But also the responsibility to use the right wisely and actively. It is not enough to simply enjoy the benefit of freedom. Citizens must also contribute to maintaining justice, peace, and good governance. By participating responsibly, people help ensure that leaders are accountable, laws are fair, and the needs of the community are met. Active participation keeps democracy strong, inclusive, and responsive to the will of the people. And the last, as part of our conclusion, the best way to preserve democracy is what? To practice it. It means that democracy remains strong only when citizens actively take part in it. This includes voting, respecting laws, engaging in open dialogue, and standing up for justice and equality. Democracy cannot survive if people are passive or indifferent. By practicing democratic values such as respect for others' opinion, participation in community affairs, and accountability, we keep its principle alive. In short, democracy is not just a system of government. It is a way of life that must be lived and protected every day through the active and responsible citizen. So, tayo yun. Huwag nating isisi. And I will give you a chance to voice out. Your voice, your power. At this moment, I will make a breakout room. You will have your partner to discuss this one. In what ways can you participate in strengthening democracy today?
Ma'am, I have a question, ma'am.
Yes?
The question is, as a Seventh Adventist, it is allowed to join or to engage the protest?
If it is a non-violent protest, why not? For me, as long as it is non-violent protest.
Okay, thank you.
How to make a breakout room? Sir Doc Rolly, can you help me? By 2.
Hello po.
Hello?
You can
Break.
reshare.
Please, stop sharing.
Stop sharing po.
Then,
And
more.
share.
Yes, breakout
Anong
room.
slide?
Okay.
Breakout room po bang gagawin?
Yes po, by 2 na lang. For them to participate. Okay. So,
by 2. By 2, okay.
opo. Kayo na lang, sir. Doc, di ako marunong maigi. Exclude na lang po kayo. Ilan ba sila? 1, 2,
Okay,
3,
ilan ba dyan?
5, 6, 7, 8.
8 rooms.
Yes.
Okay. Dahil lang po. Actually, 8 rooms.
ايوه mimi ndafana ukuzwa feedback pamuri hatina kuzotaura kuti ungadai kana kuti what's your plan. Ayo tiri kuda.
Madami po yung 8 rooms.
O 4.
O 4, ganyan.
Opo, 4.
Yan, sige, pwede yan, 4. Recreate, ayan, pwede sila.
Sige po.
Okay po.
So that they can...
Sandali pong isa. I-delete natin yung isa. Okay, create.
Reflection activity. Your voice, your power.
Okay, okay na po ba?
Ano na nga ba yun? Joy.
You can go to the room right now. There are, yeah. Let's see here. Okay, you go to the individual rooms. Let me view. Okay, yeah. Okay, some of you can join now you can go to room 3, room 4. There are not enough people there.
So sorry, maybe I need that. I'd refused to enter the new room. Maybe you can send me through again another.
Room 1, you can go to room 1.
Yeah, I'm saying I don't opening the link.
Okay, I can move you there.
Okay, thanks.
Oh, wait. You're actually join. What to do with this one? Go to room 1, room 2, room 3. Okay. Yeah. Novita, you can go to uh you can go to assign to room 1. Okay. Some of you here. Novita, you can go to which room? You're in room 1, Novita. You're with Jack Lee. Uh, Move to room 3, okay. Join. You can click the side of you can click your screen and you will see there you know, Novita, you can join room 1. Jack Lee, you can join room 1. Yeah. Yeah, Jack Lee, are you still there? You're assigned to room 1. Novita and Jack Lee are in room 1. Yeah, Nuvita, you can go to room 1. You click the your screen. There is there when you click your screen, there is a room 1 assigned there. Okay, that's already complete. Nubita, you can go to room 1. Yeah, I assigned you to room 1. Yeah, okay, good.
Okay, time's up. Now please have one speaker or reporter from each group express what you have discussed.
Yeah,
Group Group 1.
they're coming pa po in 21 seconds.
Okay, Doc. Eleven. Who wants to report first? Group 4? Who is your reporter? Speaker of the House. For the ways on how to strengthen democracy.
Yung room 1,
Room 1 ba muna o room 4? Okay,
room 2 man.
room 2. Okay, room 2.
Room 1 muna, ma'am.
Ay, yung unang magre-report plus 10. Nagtuturoan kayo eh. Room 4?
Woo!
Room 4. Sino nasa room 4? Please identify
Joshua
your
Lansdale.
identify your
Joshua Enriquez po.
Then,
Joshua Enriquez pala.
At kasama ko po si Ma'am Agbayani.
Agbayani. Tatlo lang kayo, dalawa lang kayo.
Dalawa lang po.
Okay, report. Express your thoughts, your voice.
Okay, yung napag-usapan po namin is una po ay to strengthen democracy is we should vote wisely. We should stand firm on the right principles, voting. So hindi po dapat should not be sold or be bought by running officials. So we must stand firm on the ground that by the principle that we are holding on. And next, by that, we can promote democracy, more strength, not like a uh, monopoly type like that. So next is by joining or attending like peaceful protest or demonstration. Especially in our denomination, we have a lot of we rally like smoke free, like the sad, So it's not all about on the politician. So we can promote healthy lifestyle like that. So we must attend peaceful protest or pushing through some good things like that. And then supporting organizations that promote democracy. And also by attending forums or contacting officials regarding what the community is caring for. Yeah, that's what we have discussed in our room.
Okay, thank you. I remember when I was in college, I joined the Quit Smoking campaign rally of our church. I am in Manila Center that time. The no smoking t-shirt. Quit now. That's the participation of our denomination to promote no smoke no, quit smoking, so that the illnesses pre-smoking will lessen. Okay, how about group 3? Room 3. Who occupied the room 3? Room 3. Is your reporter? Or is
Ronto na
leader?
lang, ma'am. Ronto.
Reynald.
Okay.
Who are your roommates?
Si Manansala.
Manansala, then?
Dalawa lang kami.
Dalawa. Okay, go ahead, sir.
We discuss about the strengthening democracy. One of that is wise vote. Then to help the people through the Bible study or through the social media. Then to give the text to the people who need the words of God. Then teaching how to stop the drugs, sa mga drug addict. Then during sa na may strategy Lindol, Bagyo. So mohatag og unsay mga need, like water, clothes, and others. Mga kan-goods like. Then ang discussion na mo about sa participation sa kuan. So mao gitong maghatag og mga sa ADRA, like gamiton ng ADRA kay dako kay na siya og kapuslanan. That's it.
Thank you, sir. How about room 2? Room 2.
Kami yun man, room 2.
Room 2. Room 4, then room 2, room 3. Room 3, go ahead. Room 3.
Sa room 3.
Wala pong room 3. How about room 1?
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon po.
Okay, go ahead.
May kasama ko po si Sir Jackie Horige. And the other one is weak signal daw po kaya hindi po siya naka-participate po. Pero they just text na lang their answer, ma'am. And this is we have discussed in our group in what ways can you participate in strengthening democracy today. In our group, we agreed that one of the most important ways to strengthen democracy is by voting wisely and not to buy or not to sell our boat. Through this, we are able to express our voice and take part in important decisions for the country. Aside from that, respecting human rights is also essential. We are all equal, so we should respect each person's opinions, beliefs, and rights. Through these simple actions, we are already helping to strengthen democracy in our country. That's all po, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your participation. How about group 3? Walang group 3? We consume already 35 minutes. Okay, thank you very much for your participation. Thank you. For me, voting wisely is very difficult. Bakit kaya? Bakit ko nasabing voting wisely is very difficult?
Bakit po?
Because oftentimes, sir? It is easy to say, but it is very difficult.
Yes po. Paano po, ma'am?
Because aminin man natin sa hindi, oftentimes we vote based on who benefit us. Totoo o hindi? This is the reason why I did not vote in the last election.
Yes, ma'am, because we don't know the personality of the candidates.
I know that it is the only privilege, the right. Ito lang yon, nag-iisa. Makapili ako ng gusto kong leader. Pero oftentimes talaga, yun naman talaga yun eh. Who will be, may sarili tayong vested interest, kaya natin ibinoto yung isang leader na yun. So, voting wisely for me, very difficult. So, that's all. It is not my motive to influence you, but in our situation now, it is difficult to exercise this pribileyo na nga to, nag-iisa na karapatan, pero ang hirap. So that's all for today. We have a meeting for the preparation of camping sa Gabaldon. So good, bye for now. Let's close this meeting, this class for word of prayer to be led by Ma'am Novi. Can you lead us for
Yes.
closing prayer? Thank you. Tapos na po ba yung prayer? Parang hindi rin ako na.
Yes po, ma'am. Tapos na po.
Naghang pala ako. Thank you. Bye for now. Stay.
Bye. Bye. God bless.